Okay, thanks for taking the time to watch the video. We're going to validate some of these numbers here on the website because when people first look at these, it's a little bit shocking. You start to think, well, really crazy numbers like 7,000 a month, 20,000 per month. What is this guy thinking? I get it, but when you actually walk through the value here, you'll see that they're not crazy at all. In fact, they're very easily to substantiate. So let's go to a couple of those searches, take a couple of these industries here. We'll take personal injury lawyer and we'll take landscaper. Just use those two as examples. So personal injury lawyer Toronto, I've got a tool that shows how many people search that a month. It shows it in the browser. It shows 1,600 people a month search for personal injury lawyer Toronto. So obviously if you're a personal injury lawyer in Toronto, this would be a pretty valuable search term for you, and you'd want to show up for that somehow. So one of the ways you can do that is you can actually buy that traffic from Google through ads, what they call Google AdWords or Google Ads. And this shows ad there, shows ad there. These top 4 results are ads. Of course, Google puts them right at the top. So now it also shows in the browser here that the cost per click, the CPC for that's around $96. So let's just average that out to $100 and do a calculation here. So if you were to buy that traffic from Google, what Google tells us is that if you get in this top result here, that you'll get about 40% of the clicks. So if you were to just run that ads campaign flat out all day, you'd get 40% of that clicks a month at $100 per click. It would cost $64,000 to buy those visits to your website. That's an awful lot of money, right? So when you go back here and you start looking at $7,000 to $20,000 for organic SEO, which is going to bring you up in these results down here, it's not that unreasonable. Now, the reason it's less money is because you have to wait for organic SEO to take effect. Now, some people say, well, I would rather be up top of the page, but trust me, some people are resistant to clicking on ads. Not all, but some. So a lot of times people will just ignore the ads and they'll just come and start down here and they'll start to click on these results. So both have their place. So that's one way of validating the cost. So now when you start to look at an organic SEO campaign at $7,000 to $20,000 a month for this industry, it actually starts to become reasonable. All right, so let's do a different way of validating the numbers. So if we look at Landscaper Toronto, interestingly enough, it gets the same amount of searches a month as personal injury lawyer. It gets 1,600 a month here. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll look at what's the average job worth? What's a landscaping job worth? So if you were getting 1,600 searches a month, and let's say you were able to get in the top 4, top 5 ranking, you're probably going to get about 25% of the visits to the website just by the numbers. If you're in the top 4, you're going to get 25% of the clicks. I mean, when people come to a search result like that, they don't just click on the first one all the time and hire them. They're going to look around a little bit, maybe go and look at some of your reviews, check you out a little bit, but they're going to probably check a bit of the competition. So let's say 25% to be fair. And let's say of the ones that actually contact you, you close 25% of them. And you multiply that by $10,000 profit for an average landscaping job. And if you don't think that $10,000 profit for a landscaping job in a big city is reasonable, trust me, it's very, very low. There are huge, some of these jobs will be $100,000, $200,000, $500,000. Of course, those are more rare, but a $10,000 number is very common. So if you were to run those numbers out, that's $1 million in business profit per month. So when you start to come back here and look at landscaper at $4,000 to $7,000 a month, it isn't that unreasonable anymore, is it? It's a really great return on investment. It's looking 10 to 1, 50 to 1, 100 to 1. If you go back to traditional old school marketers and read books on traditional old school marketing, they'll tell you that a 4 to 1 return on investment on your advertising dollars. So for every dollar you spend on marketing, you make $4 in profit is a good number. So when you start to look at digital marketing and the power of its ability to actually get these kind of numbers, it's tremendous. And trust me, you could talk to some of my previous and current clients about this kind of thing. And of course, like I offer on my page here is if you want to talk to my clients, I can put you in touch with a couple, and they will tell you these numbers are real. They will tell you that since they've hired me and got ranked in the top search results, that these kind of results are a reality. So if you're not familiar with digital marketing, this is your first time looking at it, trust me, I'm really urging you to follow through and investigate and talk and take the steps necessary to get all the information before you decide to just walk away and think that this stuff is a little bit crazy, because it's not. Anyway, thanks for taking the time to watch the video. See you on the other side.